Yeah, so let's begin with the first topic of discussion, which I would believe would resonate with every leaders in this room. So the question is like in an organization when every task seems like an urgent, who decides or which has the decision rights to decide what truly matters? Like we have seen in fast moving and a high pressure environment, urgency sometimes becomes a default mindset. Every task seems like a priority. But the question arises, is urgency, is every task is an urgent, or are we losing sight to something really very important? So I would like to hear from you, your insights and experiences.
Good. Let me acknowledge sincere appreciation to the kind of initiative, round table, the Xplore from the CXO Club in association with XLRI. This idea, what you are talking about, the idea of urgency or the context of urgency, is it for everything? Is it for every task, etc., and so on? In our experience, or in my personal experience, when I worked for industries like great organizations like Larsen and Toubro or Siemens, or currently with the Mech projects where I'm working, it is depending upon the deliverables, how quick, how particular you are about a particular activity to be delivered with timelines and the priority and the importance of that particular deliverable. Urgency comes from there. So any activity associated with that particular delivery will have an urgency, cascading urgency, interconnecting urgency. Only then the proper deliverable.
But how you decide on find a trade-off between speed and strategic alignment?
For example, you take the current context of Mech projects where I'm currently associated. Say, it goes by the client's deliverable. Mech handles a lot of power plants, operational maintenance, erection and commissioning, mining, road projects, railway projects, etc. and so on. There we could able to see that it goes by the client's deadlines or timelines or the kind of project to be commenced, which we pre-agreed through a term of contract. That's where the timelines are decided. The urgency starts from there. Milestones at every by month, quarterly or half-yearly or annually, whatever we are doing. That's what, according to me, is that urgency emanates from the kind of deliverables in agreement with the client and his terms of contract. That's what is my wish, my thinking. That's how it goes on.
Perhaps we could share, see insights from others. What you think, maybe.
See, I'll go on. Yeah. Yes, most of the time, it's good to have timelines, milestones, but never we work in such an environment where you expect everything to fall in place, but nothing falls on place. Then it comes a chaos. And then it comes pressure from the top guys coming and, come on, you have a timeline, deliver it or else deliver or perish. That's the kind of a situation comes in. And you end up with a burnout, and then you say that I'm going to hang my shoes. All right. Urgency is good. Urgency is needed. And it's a need for someone's existence. But at the same time, the urgency also needs a compass and clarity. All right. Not everything is, as he said, rightly said, that not everything is urgent, but it's important. What is important and what is urgent? Have that clear.
Like how you decide on which is genuinely urgent and what is a manufactured or a false urgency or a crisis. Like how you differentiate between those two.
See, the thing that I follow particularly is in the sense that see the end strategy, see the end what you want, and then build up your activities or the processes which comes in first, what are your resources and all that stuff. That gives you a clear idea what has to fall in next. So have the vision of looking something beyond the current tactical activity that you do to the end result, what you want to achieve, and then put a timeline on it. That's what mostly we do it, but most of the time it fails. Have the guts to
like,
change.
Does the team already also have that kind of a clarity, which is essential?
Have the guts to change as and when things go by. Get your team alignment and keep moving on.
So means it shifted towards intuition rather than data insights.
See, it's like sailing to the rough waters. All right, you have already put a sail on, and your ship is on the rough seas, and the storm has hit. You have to reach the shore. What do? You cannot build a ship on a turbulent waters for sure. However, you have to sail the turbulent waters for a certain period of time. It's always going to be an ambiguous situation, and it's always going to be a situation where you have to choose and someone will not fall in place. As a leader, you have to pull those socks and keep moving up. You can't find a single point strategy to say that this is a perfect strategy that will work to ensure that you will have the end result on time. Urgency matters, yes, but at the same time, you have to also form a balance on the chaos and the clarity that you get into. Yes, you have to be sure on, be clear on what you want. Have a set a compass. You'll tend to get diverse. You'll have divergent thoughts coming in as and when the chaos coming in or the urgency coming in. You will lose track of the situation or the end result. Say for example, you are driving on the busy road and you have a Ferrari on a busy road. What's going to happen? All right, it's as good as having an auto wreck or pulling a cart. So have a strategy in place on the situations and ensure that you reach on time. It's not that urgency matters, it's that your clear thoughts, you have to reach the destination on time. That's what matters.
No, thank you. So the way I look at this entire thing around urgency, if I can give two aspects to the entire piece, how I have a look at it. Clearly, I think the urgency in the new age is absolutely paramount. You take any example, businesses would take 10 years, 50 years to become, $1 billion. Today it is 6 months, 1 year. So world has moved on and things are becoming much faster, much, people want quick, ramification, things like that. So that's like a basis. So when you say urgent versus importance, I think this was always the case. What has changed the paradigm in my mind is this entire shift in the ecosystem that has happened, where everything is tend to become urgent. You have to get a one-click answer, otherwise it's not good enough. Yeah. Similarly, the business leaders are saying, I need to get this in next 3 minutes, otherwise this is not good enough. Yeah. But now if you break it down, when you are making a business decision, in my mind, you can think of it making a decision or a go, no-go for a project, for example. You have to obviously do that urgently enough as well, right? But at what cost? Are you making a decision just because of a hearsay, an AI, now agentic AI, and that's my field. So I'll just, I can talk on that line. A lot of clients come to me and they say, the top CEOs, right? They come to me and they say, Deva, just apply agentic and do something. So you basically find a problem so that I'm able to
want instant solutions.
Instant solutions on this, right? As opposed to maybe the real thing to do is there is a problem at hand and here is what the solution might take place. So is it urgency in making a decision? Of course, like you were saying, a lot of things may go wrong if you're just choosing to do that and you're not doing it purely basis data. For example, you're not doing it purely basis the rationale, your people, your infrastructure, everything that is around to make it happen, right? So one urgency is around go, no go. Should that be fast enough or can you sort of delay that? Is a question out there. The second phase comes in once you have said a go decision, then comes this implementation phase. Right? Can you urgently accomplish the task that is at hand? Because there is no decision making in this. It is about execution. It's about we all have decided we'll put a light here, we'll make a business there, we will do this strategy, whatever, right? Then whether that implementation is taking place urgently enough or not. Are you giving enough resources to make that happen? Or you are only putting a danda behind the scene and saying a hammer and saying nahi hua, right? So what's the how are you taking care of that urgency is also an important factor to look at.
And does the team have that kind of
Does
clarity?
The team has that kind of purpose and clarity and the resources, right? I mean, sometimes I say this and sorry, maybe not, in the business context, sometimes you feel, but to produce a baby, it takes 9 months. Now that doesn't mean you have 5 more people, it'll get done earlier. No, it cannot. Yeah, if you can invent something which is like a test tube of kinds and things like that, that's a very transformational thing you are seeing. Do you have enough resources to do that? If not, it takes time to develop a ERP system, to do a strategy project, to do an implementation on a BI dashboard. There is a set time that it takes. If you have experts, it can give you 80% of the time. If you do not have good resource, it might take 120%. But there is a time bomb. The third piece, and I'll stop with that. The third piece, I believe, is an urgency, which a lot of times we miss out, is an urgency to close or wrap up a project as well. Things that's not going well,
it'll have a higher cost.
It'll have a higher cost if you continue to incur that. So are you taking, again, are you showing urgency in that aspect as well, where I have to close this? Are you taking a full-fledged decision, or is it just because somebody has not been able to perform in a month where the task was anyway supposed to take 3 months, or the results were supposed to come in 6 months and you are 4th month and you are like, I don't have patience, I want to close this now. So that is a debatable thing as well, but a lot of people do not take that into account. So just wanted to voice it out here, that an urgency to close something as well, that's also a decision making.
Maybe we could look at the slack resources to absorb unexpected
Exactly.
variations.